Hi friends, good evening and welcome to Tech Toast with Science Bread. This is your RJ Vidya. Today I have really interesting information in this show for you. By now, all of you will be aware that this show is all about science, maths and also technology. Hope you're finding it interesting. If I have to make any corrections, you can always send in your feedback by visiting the website www.radioudan.com. So I can find better information which you are interested in and maybe tell it in the coming shows. So you can always mail any interesting article in case you find any to vidya.y@radioudan.com. Also, it is vidhya.y@radioudan.com. Before we begin, like always, till the convention gets over, I would like to remind you about this offer which Radio Udan has given you. I think you would have heard about this offer from all the RJs and all the shows. Still, it's my duty as a Radio Udan team member to repeat it. Actually, we are giving you an exciting offer, that is, you can get a free entry to our convention that's going to happen on January 31st, 2015. And in this, if you want to participate for free, you need to give in lot of feedback. The more number of feedback you give, you might be one of the lucky winners to get a chance to participate for free. So there are various ways to give in your feedback for all the shows. You can visit the website www.radioudan.com and click on submit feedback and give your feedback. Or you can also visit the Facebook page, that is www.facebook.com/radio_udan, and like any of our posts or comment on it. And also our Skype ID is Radio Udan. These are all the means that you can use to give in your feedback, and if you give more number of feedback, you might get this offer. In case you don't get the offer and still you want to participate, you can always visit the website www.radioudan.com and register yourself. This was all about the convention that's going to happen on January 31st. Now coming back to our show. First, let's start with science section. In science section, first of all, I'd like to ask you a small quiz on science, and we'll test your knowledge, how much you know in science. Are you ready? So without much delay and wasting our time, let's begin. I have 10 questions as I said, and let me give you some time to think for each and every question, to think the answer after I ask the question. First question for you is, who is the famous scientist, it's very famous scientist, who was awarded 1921 Nobel Prize in Physics for his work on theoretical physics? I repeat, he was a very famous scientist. Who was the famous scientist who was awarded 1921 Nobel Prize in Physics for his work on theoretical physics? Your time to think starts now. You can think for some time. Again, he was awarded Nobel Prize for his work on theoretical physics in 1921. Who was he? You have to tell. Maybe you would have thought about it. Can I tell you the answer? He is a very famous scientist. Answer is the very famous and great scientist whom we regularly speak about. He is none other than Albert Einstein. Spelling ALBERT EINSTEINE. EINSTEIN. He is Albert Einstein. Second question for you. All of you would have heard about bones. Obviously, as human beings, we would have heard the term bones. No wonder. So, this is a question that's related to bones. How many bones do sharks have in their body? Shark is a kind of a fish, so there's nothing related to human beings, but this is about shark. How many bones do sharks have in their bodies? How many bones do sharks have in their bodies? Your time to think starts now. Think of shark. You would have heard about shark, maybe, most probably. It's one of the type of fishes. So how many bones does it have? Sharks have no bones. That is saying, as per this question, it has 0 bones. Shark is made up of only flesh and no bones. It is all exceptions of nature, and it's basically a gift of nature too. So sharks have 0 bones in their body. That means they don't have any bones. Next question for you. What is the name of the part of the human skeleton which protects our brain? Brain is such a delicate thing and we need something to protect it, right? So you have to tell me what is the name of the part of the human skeleton which protects our brain. It's a part of human skeleton. Skeleton, you know what exactly skeleton? You're going to remove all the flesh and nerves, everything from your body, only the bones that are left, right? It's called a skeleton. Now you have to tell me what is the name of the part of the human skeleton that protects our brain. I'll give you some time to think so you can start thinking about it. Remember brain. Through brain, all the thinking happens through brain itself. It's such a vital organ in your body. I have no words to explain about it. So anyways, we'll speak about the functions of the brain in coming shows. But for now, you have to tell me the name of the part of the human skeleton that protects our brain. Did you get the answer? Okay. Let me tell you, it is nothing but, should I tell it? Skull. That is S-K-U-L-L. Skull protects your brain, and so your brain is very safe. Nature is like that. Because brain is delicate, God has given us skull in order to protect it. And because skull is there, God has made brain delicate. Next question. Do you like to study about earth, earthquakes and all these things? Then if you are interested in geography, you will obviously know the answer for this question because it's related to earth. What is a molten rock that comes from a volcano after it is erupted? What is a molten rock that comes from a volcano after it is erupted? Repeating again, what is a molten rock that comes from a volcano after it's erupted? You have to tell me what is the molten rock. I am giving you some time to think. It's your time, you will start thinking now. For your convenience, I am repeating the question again. What is a molten rock that comes from a volcano after it is erupted? Telling you the answer, it's nothing but, many would have guessed it, it's nothing but lava. It's nothing but L-A-V-A. So, lava is a molten rock that comes from a volcano after it is erupted. Fifth question. Are you scared of animals? A few of us are even scared of dogs like me. I'm so scared of dogs, and many would have been very scared of different types of animals. Now this is something related to animals and fear of animals. So do you wonder what the question is? So let me tell you. The fear of which animal is known as arachnophobia? Spelling is A-R-A-C-H-N-O-P-H-O-B-I-A. The fear of which animal is known as arachnophobia? This is something common. This animal is very common, but it might take some time for you to guess. So let me give you some time. So you can start thinking now. For your convenience, let me repeat the question. The fear of which animal is known as arachnophobia? Arachnophobia. The fear of which animal is called as arachnophobia? Answer is, have you heard this sentence, try and try until you succeed? So you would have obviously heard it when you were a kid, and you would have heard it in a story. The story is related to that animal. Can you guess the animal now? Try and try till you succeed. As I remember, as a kid, I've read this story related to this animal. And the moral of the story is try and try till you succeed. It is nothing but the animal that has 6 legs, which is spider. Spider spelling, do I have to tell you? Anyways, I'm telling you, S-P-I-D-E-R. So if you are scared of spiders, that fear is known as arachnophobia. Next question is related to chemical symbols. Chemical symbols means in chemistry, you write it to denote a particular element. For example, water. Have you heard water? The symbol for water is H2O. H2O, that means there are 2 elements of H2O is the chemical symbol for water. I remember when I speak of water, I remember this joke. Once there'll be a class going on and a teacher will ask a student, okay, what is the chemical symbol of water? You know what he says? He'll tell HIJKLMNO. Because H2O, that means from H till O you have to tell all the alphabets. These days students are pretty smart, and they can, even if the teacher is angry, they can make them laugh basically. So this is not the question that I wanted to ask you, but I wanted to just give you an example. That is the chemical symbol of water is H2O. Like that, I'm going to ask you for another element and you will have to tell me. So what is the name of the element with the chemical symbol He? You have to tell me what is the name of the element with the chemical symbol He. I give you some time to think. He is the chemical symbol of an element. You have to guess which element has this symbol. You can think for some more time. Just remember this water example. Water is H2O. Like that you have to tell me He is to what? Which element? He is the symbol. You have to tell me the name of the element. You can still go on thinking. Maybe you will know if you have studied science till 10th grade. Answer is helium. Helium is an element and its symbol is He. I am telling you the spelling for helium. It is Helium. 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 Helium has the chemical symbol He. Coming to the 7th question. We already discussed much about solar system. You all remember we have discussed it in our previous show. Not previous show exactly, one of our previous shows. Basically we had 2 sessions on this. So solar system is nothing but it has all the planets, stars, sun, etc. and we have spoken enough about it, so I don't have to brief you about it. But this question is something related to our solar system. So you can try guessing the answer for it. What is the name of the closest star to the Earth? What is the name of the closest star to the Earth? Which star is very close to the Earth? You have to tell me. The time starts now to think. You can think. Star. There are many poems about stars which poets have described because they are very attractive visually to see. Now this is a question that is related to star. What is the name of the closest star to the Earth? Earth has a very closest star. You have to tell me the name of the star. Maybe all of you might know the answer. The answer is nothing but, when I tell you the answer, you will feel, oh, it's very simple. Because I told you solar system, which is the main, most important element of the solar system. I mean, most important, what do you call, part of the solar system. The answer is sun. S-U-N, sun. Not S-O-N, it's S-U-N, sun, because English has so many confusing spellings, so just I'm telling you S-U-N, sun. S-O-N will be father and son, so S-U-N. So sun is the closest star to the earth. 8th question. Have you all heard of tidal waves? So you will have to tell me, what is the other name for tidal waves? I mean, it is T-I-D-A-L, tidal wave. What is the other name for tidal waves? Tidal waves are so dangerous. We already have had enough of it. At least people who stay near the beaches, and they have had enough of these tidal waves. So if you are somewhere, if you stay close to beach areas or coastal areas, obviously you might know the answer for it. Not exactly, we all would have studied, but you'll have to tell me, what is the other name for tidal wave? Repeating the question again, what is the other name for tidal wave? Your time starts now to think. You can just start thinking of the answer. Remember 2004 incident, whatever happened near Velangani? Near Velangani, so many people died and so much they had to go through. So remember that, you will get the name. What is the other name for tidal wave? Answer is tsunami. That is T-S-U-N-A-M-I. T-S-U-N-A-M-I. I remember reading it in the newspaper when tsunami happened. Someone had named their child also as Tsunami. I remember reading it. So let me repeat, what is the other name for a tidal wave? It's nothing but tsunami. 9th question. Again, this is related to chemical symbol. Now this time I don't have to tell you what is chemical symbol. Just like water has chemical symbol H2O. H2O. Now you have to tell me what is the chemical symbol for the element oxygen. Oxygen we all know, right? We all breathe in, and I've explained it in blood circulation already in one of our previous shows, how important oxygen is and how it enters your body and gets supplied to all the parts of your body, if you remember it. So now I want to know what is the chemical symbol for the element oxygen. Just remember this water, H2O, already in that itself you have the answer. So I'm giving you time to think. This is the biggest clue that I can give for you, that you should remember H2O in order to figure out this answer. Okay, so you can start thinking. What is the chemical symbol for your element that is oxygen? Answer is O. O is the chemical symbol for oxygen. When I say water's chemical symbol is H2O, that means water has hydrogen and oxygen. H stands for hydrogen, O stands for oxygen. That's what. That's why I told you. Remember oxygen. When you remember when I ask you the chemical symbol for oxygen, remember water. So already you know that now. That chemical symbol for hydrogen is H, because I told you in water H stands for hydrogen and O stands for oxygen. Now coming to the 10th and the last question for the day. What is the scientific name for man? Everyone has scientific names. For making it easier, in English we have other terms, but all scientific organisms and many scientific things have scientific names. Basically everything is science. So you have to tell me what is the scientific name for man. Man, I mean human beings. Scientific name for man. I'm giving you some time to think. You have to think about the scientific name for man. Just think of it. What is the scientific name for man? Your answer, I'll tell you your answer, is Homo sapiens. That is Homo sapiens. Homosapiens. Homo sapiens is the scientific name for man. These were the 10 questions which might have helped you in any way. I don't know for which entrance exam they ask you something related to science, but still this is a science show and there's much for all of us to learn about science. So I had to ask you these 10 questions. Hope you have really enjoyed this section. To the world of invention, creativity and discovery. Here's an opportunity for all of us to explore the ocean of knowledge. This show is all about emerging trends in science and technology, math, quiz, facts and much more. So friends, get ready to listen Tech Toast with Science Spread with your RJ Vidya only on Radio Udaan. You can hear this show every Monday from 7 to 8 pm and rebroadcast every Tuesday from 2 to 3 pm. To contribute any article or information regarding science, math or technology, or to give your valuable feedback or suggestion, please send a mail to ttwithss@gmail.com. That is ttwithss@gmail.com or vidya.y@radioudaan.com. That is vidhya.y@radioudaan.com. Or you can also give your feedback by visiting the website www.radioudaan.com.
आप सुन रहे हैं रेडियो उड़ान, फ्लाइट ऑफ लाइफ।
प्रतिभा की पहचान,
प्रज्ञा की मुस्कान,
सबलांगों का साथी, ये है रेडियो उड़ान।
रेडियो उड़ान के प्रोग्राम्स की जानकारी के लिए, शोज में पार्टिसिपेट करने के लिए, किसी भी शो को फीडबैक देने के लिए, आर्काइव रिक्वेस्ट करने के लिए, आरजे बनने के लिए और अपने फेवरेट आरजेस की प्रोफाइल्स पढ़ने के लिए लॉग ऑन करें www.radioudan.com। स्काइप आईडी रेडियो उड़ान, ईमेल mail@radioudan.com। रेडियो उड़ान, a flight of life.
Now still we'll proceed with science, but in science we'll talk about something else. Maybe you all like it too. Now I'm going to tell you 10 interesting facts. Science is full of facts. Facts means truths. Truth cannot be hidden, so science itself is fact. I'm telling you 10 interesting facts which you might like. Now coming to facts. The first fact that I'd like to tell you is about cell. Cell is nothing but the smallest and the basic unit of your body. You're made up of billions of cells. Okay, so there are unicellular organisms, that means animals with only one cell also are there, but we as human beings are made up of so many cells. Suppose your hand is made up of so many cells, your heart is made up of so many cells, your brain is made up of so many cells, everything is made up of so many cells. If each and every organisms are made up of so many cells, if each and every organ in your body like brain, heart and all are made up of so many cells, imagine how many cells you would be made up of. So you're made up of basically countless number of cells. Each time your cells, new cells are created and many cells keep dying, okay? So cell is nothing but it's the basic and structural unit of any organism. Organism, I mean plants, animals, everything. So this is about this amazing thing called as cell. You have to tell me which is the longest living cells of human body. The longest living cells of the body are which type of cells? I told you many cells keep dying. That means suppose if you have many cells in your skin and your skin gets cut or something, and when your skin gets cut, many cells in your body die and the skin basically comes out and new skin forms, right? So the skin which basically falls off will die. That's why it comes out of your body, and then new cells will be formed, that is your new skin. So like this, in all parts of your body many cells keep on dying. But now you have to tell me which is the longest living cells in your body. Answer is nothing but, this is basically a fact, but I am asking you it as a question for you to be able to think a little. Answer is brain cells. Brain cells actually live for entire lifetime. That's why I told you brain is so important. Your cells in your brain cannot die, or they have to live for entire lifetime, and it is a truth, so I have included it in fact section. The longest living cells in the body are brain cells, which can live an entire lifetime. So they can never die, they have to live an entire lifetime. Second fact is related to cricket. Cricket is an animal. Do you know that ears of the cricket are located on the front legs just below the knee? The ears of the cricket are located on the front legs just below the knee. For us and for many animals, your ear will be a part of a face, part of anyone's face, but ears of the cricket are located on the front legs just below the knee. This is a fact which you have to know. There's nothing much to tell. Cricket, as I remember as a kid, I read some story related to ant and the cricket. That is, cricket was very lazy and ant was collecting everything and something like that. It used to give cricket all the food that it had collected during winter, and then cricket would just eat it and sing all day and waste its time, something like that. So this is related to that animal itself. Now next question, sound travel. Again I'm getting confused. I mean next fact is sound travels about 4 times faster in water. If I speak, okay, sound is basically traveling in air and my microphone is able to take it, and through that it's getting recorded because sound is traveling in air for my microphone to take it. Like that, sound also can travel in water. But remember, sound travels about 4 times faster in water than in air. This is a very important fact. Now I'm speaking, it's traveling at some speed, but if it was water, it would have traveled 4 times faster. So sound travels about 4 times faster in water than in air. This is the fact. Now, the fourth fact, okay? The most dangerous animal in the world is can you think? The most dangerous animal in the world. I mean, I'm not asking you because it's very huge and big and so it's dangerous. I mean, in terms of causing diseases, you have to tell me which is the most dangerous animal. It is a very small animal and a very common one, but it is considered as the most dangerous animal. Can you think which one is it? Even though it's small, it's considered as very dangerous just because it causes lot of diseases. So the most dangerous animal is the common housefly because of their habit of visiting animal waste, and so they transmit more number of diseases when compared to any other animal. So common housefly is the most dangerous animal just because it has a habit of visiting animal waste, and in animal waste there are so many bacteria and other things, and diseases will be transmitted because of its habit of visiting this animal waste. So more number of diseases will be transmitted by housefly compared to any other animal, and hence it's called as the dangerous animal. Most dangerous basically. Now next fact is related to carnivorous animals. Herbivorous and carnivorous difference I have to tell you. Herbivorous animals are those animals which just eat plants, grass, etc. like cows. Okay. Now carnivorous animals are just the opposite, which eat meat, egg. Egg, I don't think, I am still confused whether it's veg or non-veg. Anyways, meat, fish, etc. So man are both herbivorous and carnivorous because they eat evenly. Now this fact is related to carnivorous animals. I have to tell you, snakes are true carnivorous animals. That means true carnivorous because they eat nothing other than animals. They only eat animals. They don't eat any vegetables, fruits, nothing. At least human beings, we eat both vegetables, fruits, all these, as well as non-veg too, veg and non-veg too. So even though we tell we are carnivorous animals, we eat even herbs in the sense fruits, vegetables, etc. But cows on the other hand, cows and other type of animals eat only grass and things like that, so they are truly herbivorous. But snakes on the other hand are truly carnivorous because they eat only meat and other animals, and they don't eat anything else apart from that. They don't eat fruits, vegetables, etc. So they are truly carnivorous. They do not eat any type of plant material. Next fact is about amphibians. Amphibians are those animals that can live both in water and in land. We as human beings, we cannot enter water and stay there. Many animals like fishes cannot come out on land and stay there, but there are some animals which have this advantage of staying both in water and in land, and such animals are called as amphibians. And do you know, there are many amphibians like frogs, because frogs can live both in water and in land, because they have both lungs and gills. Gills help them to breathe in water and lungs help them to breathe in land. So we have only lungs and fishes have only gills. So fishes cannot come to land, we cannot go to water, whereas frogs have both lungs and gills. So they can stay both in land and in water. And now, do you know which is the largest amphibian in the world? It's nothing but the giant salamander. It's the largest amphibian. Salamander spelling SALAMANDER. It's the world's largest amphibian. That means it can stay both in land and water, and it's the largest amphibian. Its name is giant salamander. it can actually grow up to 5 feet in length. This is the largest amphibian, the giant salamander. It can grow up to 5 feet. Next fact is related to virus. Virus is very dangerous. We know that because it can transmit so many number of diseases. Even your common cold and fever comes because of virus. And this virus was invented just before 100 years. That means people who studied before 100 years didn't have to study much about these diseases because viruses itself were not discovered. I mean, I shouldn't say invention. How can it be invented? It was already there, but it was discovered. It was discovered before 100 years. The first virus was discovered before 100 years. And they discovered virus both in plants and animals. Don't think that virus are found only in animals. They are found even in plants. So just before 100 years, scientists have discovered that viruses are found both in plants and in animals. Again, this is something related to bone. Bone, I had asked you, right? I think in my first show, or I don't remember, but in one of the shows, I have asked you a question, which is the biggest bone of human body. It was nothing but the bone which is found in your thigh. It's called as femur bone. Now I am asking you, which is the smallest bone in the human body? The smallest bone in the human body. The smallest bone in the human body is stapes stirrup. It is located in the middle ear. This is the bone that is located in your ear, and it's called as stapes stirrup. Spelling STAPESOR STIRUP. STAPESOR STIRUP. The smallest bone in the human body is the stapes stirrup. It's located in the middle ear and its size is 0.11 inches, which is nothing but 0.28 centimeter long. So it is the smallest bone. Again, I am telling you, stapes stirrup is the smallest bone in the human body. It is located in the middle ear. It's approximately 0.11 inches, which is equal to 0.28 centimeters. Ninth fact, everyone blinks their eyes. Human beings basically keep blinking their eyes. That means you open and close your eye when you know that there's some danger, or suddenly if someone touches you, the response to stimuli will be there, right? So suddenly you just start blinking your eye for many reasons. So human eye blinks an average of 42 lakh times a year. No one would have expected it, but it's a fact. Human eye blinks an average of 42 lakh times in a year. So the human eye blinks an average of 42 lakh times a year. Last fact. How many times do we eat? We keep eating. Basically, we all eat breakfast, lunch and dinner, and we also take in snacks in between, fruits in between. There's no I am telling you, if I stay at home, if I just visit kitchen, I'll just take something and drop it in my mouth. So we keep eating. So even though we keep eating, we don't eat 12 hours once, right? We just eat 3 or 4 hours once we eat thrice. But you should remember that it takes approximately 12 hours for any food that you take in to completely digest. Completely digest in the sense digest fully and come out as waste, okay, the unwanted materials. To digest completely any food, any smallest food that you take in takes 12 hours to completely digest. Still, our bodies are so strong to even take in all the food. If you would have eaten breakfast and then after 4 hours eaten lunch, the breakfast itself wouldn't have digested fully. It will be in the process of digestion and you give your body new food. Again, if you take dinner, still your breakfast will be in the process of digesting, or if you give 12 hours break, it might have digested. Still, even though your breakfast is not digested completely, it will be able to take in the lunch. It would have taken in the lunch that has digested little bit, and your dinner which is fresh. So you should always respect all your internal organs, or you should always respect your internal organs too, because they keep functioning no matter what. We are just lazy to do work, but our internal organs keep on functioning. Imagine heart, it won't rest even for a second. If it does, you will die. These are all the facts that I wanted to tell you. Hope you enjoyed this. Coming to our math section. Today in math section, I'd like to tell you trick to trick your friends basically. First, I want to trick you so that you will be tricked, and then you will get interest to trick your friends. First of all, think of a number, any number in your mind. You can keep any number in your mind, preferably number less than 10 because it's easy to calculate. If you are very good at math, you can keep any number, even above 10 or above 1000, whatever. Think of a number in your mind. Obviously, you can't tell me and I can't get to know because I am speaking here and the show is being aired, so how will I know what is in your mind, right? But I can guess it later. Just think of a number. Double the number. Don't forget your number, okay? Think of a number first. Next step is to double the number. Double the number in your mind. Add 10 to your answer. Done? Add 10 to your answer. Repeating again, first you have to think of a number, then double the number in your mind, then after that add 10. After this, divide the number by 2. Divide the number by 2. After this is done, once you divide your number by 2, you basically have to tell me the number. But how will you tell me now? I am here, you are there, listening somewhere at your home or any place. So, okay, if your number was, say I am telling you for example, if your number after dividing it by 2 was 13, okay, your answer will be your number that you got now minus 5, which is 13 minus 5, which is 8. Okay, this is how you can trick your friends. Am I right? Suppose your answer was 24, it will be 24 minus 5, which is 19. Suppose your answer was 20, it will be nothing but 20 minus 5, which is 15. If you want, you can try it again. For your convenience, I am telling it again. First, think of a number. Okay, let me give you an example here. Okay, first think of a number. Say we'll just take 17. Okay, then double the number. 17 double is 34. Remember, we have taken 17. When you double it, you get 34. Then add 10 to the answer. 34 plus 10 will be 44. Then divide the number by 2. So 44 by 2 is nothing but 22. And now you have to tell me the answer. Obviously we are doing it loud, so you know what the answer was. That is 22. Now if you want to guess the original number, you should just deduct 22 minus 5. 22 minus 5 is nothing but 17, right? 17 was your original number. Let me take another example and explain it for your convenience. Let's take an example. Let's take 9 now. Remember, we have taken a number which is 9. Double the number. When you double it, you get 18. Now add 10 to the number, you get 28. Divide it by 2. When you divide 28 by 2, you get nothing but 14. Now you have to tell the answer. That is 14, right? We got. Now if you want to guess your original number, you have to just deduct 14 minus 5, which is 9. 9 was your original number. So you can use this trick with any of your friends. Just remember, I am telling you the steps. First, ask your friend to think of a number in their mind, any number for example, even in thousands. Then get them to double the number. Then ask them to add 10 to the number. Then tell them to divide the number by 2, the existing result by 2. Then ask them to tell you whatever number they have now. When they tell you the number, you can guess their original number just by deducting 5 from the answer that they tell you. That will be their original number. That's it. If their original number was 30, if their answer is 30, deducting 5 will be 25. That was their original number. If it was 40, just deduct 5 in your mind. So 35 will be the original number. Hope you understood this. You can use this trick to trick any of your friends. Before we actually end our show, let me tell you something interesting about multiples of 9. Multiples of 9, we all have learned multiples as kids, right? We used to tell 2 1s are 2, 2 2s are 4, 2 3s are 6 and things like that. They are the multiples. That means 2's multiples are nothing but 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 and so on. Likewise, 9's multiple will be 9, 18, 27, 36. That is 9 1s are 9, 9 2s are 80, 9 3s are 27. We used to tell, right? These are the multiples of 9. Now I want to tell you something amazing of 9's multiples. Okay? When I say 9's multiples, only till 9 10s are 90. Only till that. So 9's multiples, that is first 10 multiples of 9 are 9, 18, 27, 36, 45, 54, 63, 72, 81 and 90. I'm telling you this fact only with regard to these 10 multiples. That is 9 1s are 9 till 9 10s are 90. Take for example 9 1s are 9. What is the total sum of all the digits of this number? 9, right? Take 9 2s are 18. Okay, 9 2s are 18. So add up 18 digits of 18. That is 18 is nothing but 1 and 8 makes 18, right? 1 8 is 18. When you add up, you get 9. Take 9 3s are 27. 2 7. Add up all the digits. 2 plus 7 is 9. Amazing, right? 9 4s are 36. 36. 9 4s are 36. So 3 plus 6 is 36. 3 plus 6 is 9. 3 6 is 36. So 3 plus 6 is 9. 9 5s are 45. So 4 5 is 45. So 4 plus 5 is again 9. If you add up like this for all the numbers till 10, for all the multiples of 9 till 10, if you keep adding up sum of all the digits, the answer will be 9 itself. Let's try more. 9 6 are 54. 5 4 is 54. Adding up 5 plus 4 gives you 9. Again 9, right? Now 9 7s are 63. So 6 3 is 63. So 6 plus 3 makes 9 again. 9 8s are 72 and 7 plus 2 is 9. 9 9s are 81. Again 8 plus 1 gives you 9. 9 10s are 90. That is 9 plus 0 also gives you 9. This is the speciality of 9's multiples only till 10, but if you add up all the digits of the multiples till 10, you just get 9. This is the speciality of 9's table. 9's multiple basically. Since we don't have much time left and it's time to say goodbye, so let's end the show for today. Next time we'll meet with nice information and something that's really interesting. Till then, have a wonderful week ahead. May you have good success in whatever you do. And I had forgotten one thing. Since New Year was on January 1st, today I'd like to wish you a belated New Year and have a wonderful and a very happy and successful year ahead. So wish all of our listeners a very happy and prosperous New Year. Next time we'll meet with something interesting, something more interesting. Again, if you want to send in your feedback, you can visit www.radioudan.com for the show. This is your RJ Vidya, as you all know. I'm signing off. Meet you next week at the same time with the same show, that is Tech Toast with Science Split. Till then, take care and bye.